Welcome to 2026. The PTE Academic exam has underwent a lot of changes this year, and we need to adapt and change with it. Last year, they had trial runs for different question types. Some have stayed and some haven't. And that means we need to adapt our strategies and the method in which we study for this exam. If you want to make the most of this video, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video. And if you're looking for other advice on the speaking, reading, writing, or listening for PTE Academic, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get updated when we post a new video, which is very often. Let's get started on some of the big changes that happen in 2026 and what we could expect as test takers. I'm Scott from hzadeducation. This is what we do, PTE Academic. So if you're interested in more, be sure to check us out. Now, the biggest structural change that is coming in 2026 is in the speaking section, where two new speaking types have been validated that they are here to stay. Now, if you took the test last year, you would have seen respond to a situation and summarize a group discussion. Both of these were being trialed. They were being tested in the exam questionnaire, and now they are here to stay. So let's take a look at these two sections so you know what to anticipate, because if you're looking at old textbooks from 2024 or before, they are out of date and we need to stay up to date with these question types. So summarize a group discussion is where you will listen to multiple speakers on a topic. This can be a score killer because it does have a high value weight, so it's worth a lot of marks. The most important strategy for you as the exam test taker is that you are paying attention to who said what. We're going to use phrases like he mentioned, she argued, they suggest, both speakers identified. So first of all, we need to identify people, and when you are taking notes, categorize them to either he, she, male, female, or perhaps you can say first speaker, second speaker, and then occasionally you're going to say all agreed or all speakers denied that. So it's very important that you're listening for the sound of their voice and their opinion. Then we're going to follow up with verbs he said, she said, that way. Remember, we're looking for clarity, not sophistication. You don't need to have brilliant new ideas or excellent vocabulary. In the 2 minutes when you are repeating or explaining, summarizing the group discussion, you just need to have clear information. So that's why we use identifiers. Moving on to respond to a situation. This one, again, is short, brief, and powerful. So you'll have only 10 seconds to prepare after you hear the question prompt, and then you are going to need to speak for 40 seconds. Now, I trust you will do here if you keep one thing in mind: remain calm and remain natural. Again, the exam is not looking for a really intelligent or sophisticated response. What it is looking for is your ability to listen, because you get points for listening, and your ability to respond in a natural, human-like way. So we've identified that templates don't work very well here. Now let's take a look at an example. You'll see an audio, or you'll listen to an audio pop up like this. It might say, you need more time to complete a university assignment. Contact your lecturer and request an extension. So there's always one sentence for the idea and one sentence for the task, what you need to do. So you might say something very nice and natural like, hello, professor, this is an issue I'd like to discuss about the upcoming assignment deadline. I have been completing the research, but I need an additional 2 days to organize the final draft. I suggest submitting a clear outline today, and then I'll complete the paper by Friday. Thank you for considering this request. I look forward to hearing your response. Now you'll notice that we can't use templates verbatim, but we can use a structure. We're going to have one sentence to introduce our idea or a request. So, hello, professor, I am writing to, or I am speaking about. One final sentence to have a polite conclusion. So that already takes care of the first and last sentence. In the middle, your job is to identify a solution. So you're going to propose a type of solution. Again, just keep it very natural and calm. You don't need to have fantastic ideas, but you do need to have a calm, cool, collect response. Hello and welcome, identify the problem, give a solution, and a polite goodbye. Follow this advice and I trust you will get the desired score that you need. Moving on to writing. Now, the actual structure of writing has not changed very much in 2026, but what we have noticed is that spelling mistakes are disproportionately punished. So one spelling mistake means -1 mark. Therefore, we want you to practice and focus more on using words that you are comfortable with. Do practice spelling at home. Try to avoid using spell check when you are typing on the computer because that doesn't really help your actual spelling. But what we want to do is focus more on cohesion, making sure that you're addressing all parts of the question type. Now, writing has some heavy hitters. They are worth a lot of marks. So when you get into the long section of writing, be sure that you are working with vocabulary you are confident of. You want to address the question prompt, but you don't need to have very high level advanced vocabulary. That will put you at risk of losing marks. Now, rather than relying on templates for the writing, what we want to use is frameworks. 2026 is all about frameworks. Templates are no longer working. They've advanced their software. They're using more advanced AI software to analyze your score, and therefore they're catching these copy-paste answers. Every time you write an answer, it must address the question and use relevant information. They can see past it. So what we want to make sure is that we have a framework like this. Now, because write an essay is the longest section where you have to dedicate your time to writing a full page essay, the structures are important. If you want to know more than just what we can put on the screen here, then do check out our other videos because I've made an entire video on write an essay as well as the writing sections, and it's something that all students need to follow. Now, especially in 2026, we're going to use frameworks. This reduces your thinking time. It allows you to jump into the essay quickly without feeling like a roadblock or a writer's block, and it gives you a specific framework to work with so that you're not guessing what my next sentence should be. So check that out. We have other videos on that. Let's go to the reading section. 2026, reading is no longer about your reading comprehension. It's about time management. So follow this advice and I'm sure that you will get a high mark or your desired score for the PTE Academic. We'll say it again. We've said it in the past. Time management is crucial. What you need to do is minimize the time you spend on low-valued questions. All of our students have practiced this strategy and we've seen them increase their marks in reading particularly. So low-valued questions will be the ones like this, and if they have a low value, you should spend no more than 30 to 40, maximum 50 seconds on them. The purpose is that we are going to bank time for the longer questions, so the ones that are worth high-value marks. Understand and memorize these high-value questions, and you will guaranteed get a higher mark on the reading section, which can be a hard one. Now let's move on to the final section, which is listening. This is at the end of the exam, and we continue to have a dominating section, which is write from dictation. Write from dictation is up there with the other writing sections, so they are the most high-valued questions, which means we want to focus heavily on this. If you can master writing and master write from dictation, then you're golden. You're already up there with top scorers. So what our students have been practicing here is getting rid of low-value questions. You will listen to some low-value questions that cannot waste time. So they're going to take up maximum 30 seconds per question. If you don't know in those 30 seconds, you're going to move on and continue. Questions like the multiple choice, multiple answer, or multiple choice, single answer, highlight the incorrect word, as well as select a missing word. Low value questions. Now, our students have practiced this in the past. So what you're going to do is skim past them as fast as possible. Doing so will help you to boost your listening score. Now, it's still the beginning of 2026, but if you're taking the test this year, comment down below which month you will achieve your desired score. Because test dates are filling up fast, so you should create a study plan. If you're looking for more advice, do get in contact with us because we have individual tutors that will work with you privately to make sure you get that score. So this year, we've noticed that the PTE academic test is not becoming harder, it's becoming more strict. We need to analyze the scores. Simply memorizing the test is not going to get you the highest score. What we really do need to focus on is scoring behavior. So which ones are high value, which ones are low value, and we should put a big emphasis on time management. Templates are not being used this year. Frameworks still can be used. So check out our other videos if you want detailed frameworks that will be used and applied in 2026. That's all for today. I'm Scott from HZad Education. If you're looking for more, follow us down below. I'll see you in the next one.